Live from Minute Maid Park, I'm Sports Radio 610's Dan Mathews. The Astros are still down 1-0 to the Pirates here in the top of the sixth, but the Buccos are threatening with runners on second and first, one out. Hunter Pence is 0-2 with lineouts to right and center field in his quest to move his hitting streak to 24 games. Before the game, the Astros dismissed pitching coach Brad Arnsberg. A source tells Sports Radio 610 that he and Brad Mills had been at odds over the past few weeks and that something had to give. You can read more about this at sportsradio610.com. Elsewhere in baseball, Justin Verlander was just 5 outs away from recording his career third no-hitter until Cleveland's Orlando Cabrera hit a sharp single to center field. Some good news out of the most recent talks between NFL players and owners. Several reports are saying that a deal could be reached here in the near future because both sides are starting to make concessions in their approach to a fair CBA deal. And in the NBA, after Mark Cuban said that he'd give his championship-winning Mavs something other than rings, well, Dirk Nowitzki says thanks, but no thanks. He and the team would prefer to have the rings. I'm Dan Mathews, and whenever breaking sports news happens, here to talk about it first, right here on Houston Sports Leader, Sports Radio 610.
When you take a look at what Bob McNair's done here in Houston from up in Dallas, what do you think about the job he's done?
I think it's outstanding. I know how tough it is to do what we have some expectations, and that's get a Super Bowl. We all do. But I think he's, as far as the football team is concerned, is solid. He's got him a heck of a defensive coach, and I think a lot of his head coach too. But I really have firsthand knowledge of how good Wade Phillips is.
Well, Chris Johnson, I mean, he hasn't been the same Chris Johnson that people have seen up to this point.
I mean, he hasn't really had the kind of season I think he's looking forward to, but I mean, he's still the same football player. You can see it on film. All his capabilities are still there. He's an explosive football player, and we have to be on top of our stuff because he can break out at any moment.
So, I mean, you guys are approaching it like it's a kind of sleeping giant deal?
No. We're approaching it as we're not going to be his breakout game. That's the way we're looking at it. He just I think he's just waiting to get going. But like I said, we're just trying not to be us.
You talk about just teams that they have played. I mean, yeah, their conference schedule, it might not be the strongest as it has been in the past. But, I mean, we're taking a look at the schedule right now, Sean. I mean, look at who they have played. I mean, they played Pitt. They played Pitt at a neutral site at Madison Square Garden early in the year. Okay, you lost that, but the night before, you beat a pretty decent Illinois team. And then down the road, I mean, of course, they stubbed their toe out in California.
Took them to overtime, though, in Illinois.
When the season really started to turn was right there, right around the Christmas time of the year is when they played against UNC, and then they played against Michigan State, getting two big wins. I mean, UNC at a neutral site, getting a late bucket to win that one, but Michigan State, a team that started off a little slow. And then, of course, maybe is there a thing that's holding them back right now is that loss late to UConn, which I don't think should. I mean, you took them to overtime. I mean, yeah, they beat you by one on your home floor after getting a big shot, but I mean, this is a Texas team that I really think has a serious argument tomorrow or Monday when the writers, coaches, whoever else votes on the polls, when they go to cast their votes and however many first-place votes they get, I think Texas should be number one on Monday.